The story begins with a meteor falling in a location in China. A few days later, a young boy named Momo and his family are seen traveling to celebrate his birthday. Momo's father is named Lao, who is a businessman, while his mother is named Mei, who is a lawyer. During the trip, the vehicle Mei and her family were riding in suddenly came to a halt after they hit a rabbit.
来了，什么东西啊？
真恶心你！
On the other hand, two technicians can be seen heading toward a cell tower that appears to be having problems after being struck by a meteor. After arriving at the site, the two of them are shocked to see the tower in ruins, but it seems they haven't realized yet that the cause was a meteor. Back to Momo and her parents, who have now arrived at a resort. Upon arrival, they were a bit disappointed to find that there was no signal at all in the area. From there, Momo and her parents were greeted by her uncle, whom we'll call Ang. When Ang was about to show Momo and her family around, he ran into a young couple named Jun and Lulu. Jun is the son of the resort owner, known for being lazy and living a lavish lifestyle. Here, Jun mentioned that they were planning to hike up the mountain, and he asked to borrow a rifle just in case they encountered wild animals like wild boars. However, Ang refused, explaining that it was impossible for there to be any boars in this area, and even if there were, those boars wouldn't come near humans anyway. Ang then returned to meet Momo and his family who had been waiting in the lobby. Upon meeting them, Ang explained that it seemed like the communication and internet signals were experiencing some interference. However, Ang assured them that all these issues would soon return to normal, but what none of them knew was that the technicians working to fix the network had actually been attacked by something lurking in the bushes. At the same resort, a young couple named Chen Chen and her boyfriend Jia Ming are seen discussing plans to leave soon and return to the hospital due to the lack of signal. This situation makes Chen Chen worried about her status at the hospital where she works. However, Jia Ming refuses to rush home because he is currently in the process of establishing a partnership with John for the sake of his business's future success. Next, Momo and her family finally enter the inn located by the riverside. While her parents are busy, Momo takes the opportunity to go into the forest and record the beauty of nature. At this moment, Momo happened to meet her relative Ang, let's just call him Mamang, who was preparing rabbit meat. Because she was scared to see the rabbit being cut up by someone she didn't know, Momo decided to run away and return to the inn. That night, John and his friends set off fireworks in the middle of Momo's 15th birthday celebration. But because of what happened earlier, Momo now looked lethargic and unenthusiastic. Seeing her daughter like that made her mother angry, because she felt that their efforts to celebrate the birthday were not being appreciated by Momo.
无所有那么多的事情，你知道吗？你怎么没过劳死啊？
哎，默默。
After being slapped by the strongest species on Earth, Momo, who was crying in her room, accidentally saw Jun and his girlfriend Lulu sharing a romantic moment. While she was busy recording the scene, Momo suddenly noticed something moving in the area around her lodging. Feeling an overwhelming sense of curiosity, Momo cautiously decided to step outside to investigate, all the while being completely unaware that the mysterious creature she had only briefly glimpsed earlier was now lurking in the very same spot where her dear friends Jun and Lulu were together. Jun, panicking when he saw his girlfriend being dragged away by the mysterious creature, quickly rushed down, causing Jianming, Chenchen, and Lulu's younger sister Hua, who were downstairs, to become confused. Terrified, Jun then went to the inn where Momo and her family were staying. After he had calmed down, Jun told them everything. However, after checking Jun's room, Hua said she didn't find anything, which made everyone doubt Jun's account. Fortunately, Momo had managed to record the creature while it was in her room, and when she showed the video she had taken, everyone in the room was shocked. News about the appearance of a creature reached Ang, who at that time was having dinner with Mamang. Ang, who at first didn't believe the news about the appearance of a monster, was eventually forced to go while bringing his rifle. Meanwhile, Mamang, who was worried about his brother, decided to accompany him. Meanwhile, at the inn, Hua, who felt that her sister Lulu might still be alive, decided to look for her, even though the others forbade her from doing so. Accompanied by Jianming, the two of them then walked toward their inn. Just as Jianming was about to enter, he suddenly felt a drop of water fall on his face.
华哥，华哥。
On the other hand, Ang and Mamang, who were on their way to the inn, had to stop for a moment because Ang really needed to pee. However, not long after Mamang decided to leave his brother behind, he heard Ang screaming from inside the forest. In a great hurry, Mamang tried his best to look for Ang, but unfortunately, He was completely unable to find any sign of him anywhere. Then, a moment later, he heard an urgent call coming through on the radio. It was from Lao, who was attempting to report the serious situation to Lulu, while also issuing a stark warning that there was a dangerous monster roaming around this specific area. Not long after that, Mamang finally arrived at the inn and informed everyone that Ang had gone missing on the way here. From there, Mamang then intended to look for supplies, but before leaving, he advised everyone still there to lock the doors and all the windows to prevent the creature from getting into the inn. Just as he was about to leave, Jun suddenly offered to accompany Mamang. Hua, who suspected that Jun intended to run away alone, decided to join them to prove his suspicions. Long story short, the three of them then arrived at a building. Mamang, who was about to go inside, handed his rifle to Jun and asked him to stand guard outside. Now, in this situation, while Hua was with Jun, he unexpectedly tried to attack Jun from behind, which forced Jun to fire his rifle. In the current situation, Hua explains that the reason she tried to attack Jun was to avenge the death of her sister Lulu, which Hua believes happened because of Jun's mistake. At the same time, the lights in the resort area suddenly went out, causing everyone staying there to panic. At this moment, Mei tries to calm everyone down by saying that whatever creature is out there won't be able to get inside because they've already closed all the windows. However, it is then revealed that Momo forgot to close the window upstairs. From there, the sound of footsteps is heard, making everyone fall silent in fear. With no other choice, Mei gives the car keys to her husband, who then tells the others to quickly leave the inn. Once outside, they catch a glimpse of Mamang and Jun across the way. But unfortunately, just as they are about to cross, a creature leaps out of the river, causing Momo to fall. Seeing her daughter fall, Mei quickly rushes to help her. Unfortunately, although she manages to save Momo, Mei ends up dying after her body is dragged to the bottom of the river. In the midst of this situation, Jun secretly leaves the others behind, taking his parked vehicle and also bringing along Mamang's rifle. In the pouring rain, Jun speeds off in his vehicle, but without realizing it, he ends up losing control of the car. Meanwhile, Momo and the others are now trying to hide from the monster, which has started to chase after them. While trying to stay calm, they all wait until the creature has truly moved away from their position. After holding out for a while, Mamang then leads the others to an empty inn to take shelter for the time being. While waiting for morning, Momo, who was injured in the previous attack, refuses to be examined when Chen offers to treat her. Momo deeply regrets her actions because all this time she has always disobeyed her mother's orders. Hearing this, Chen tries to comfort her by saying that what Mei did was the action any parent would take when seeing their children in danger. That's why Chen reminds Momo not to waste her mother's sacrifice. The very next morning, Mamang and all the others carefully began to slowly leave the damaged building and diligently tried to head directly toward Lao's waiting vehicle. But just as they were about to reach it, suddenly Kinsen fell, which was immediately followed by the appearance of the monster. During the incident, Momo, who was at the very back, fell off the wooden floor. Seeing this, Mamang quickly attacked, diverting the creature's attention away from them. But unfortunately, Mamang's action only worked temporarily because the creature soon resumed its pursuit of Momo, who was being rescued by the others. The four of them managed to escape and return to the surface. From there, they planned to go to the VIP area where, according to Jianming, he had parked his vehicle. However, just as they started to move, they realized that something seemed to be walking on the floor above. Realizing that the monster had managed to escape, they then got separated. Momo and her father hid under a table, while Jianming and Chen were in the next room. Fortunately, Mamang, who had survived, appeared and helped the others by spraying a fire extinguisher. The situation then became even more tense when the creature tried to vent its anger by chasing Mamang. With all his strength, Mamang tried to evade the creature by running between the lockers. Mamang managed to do it, but unfortunately, when the creature returned and roamed the corridor, Jianming, who was hiding inside a locker, saw how the creature was getting closer to the cabinet where Chen was hiding. Not wanting to see his girlfriend become a victim, Jianming decided to sacrifice himself. After killing Jianming, the creature then dragged his body up to the rooftop. It was a horrifying sight that caused Chen Chen to faint. While waiting for Chen Chen to regain consciousness, Mamang planned to use this opportunity to get the car, but before he could move, Lao actually volunteered to do it. Knowing this, Momo could only resign herself and beg her father to be careful. From there, Lao then moved slowly, but unfortunately, as soon as he was outside, Jun suddenly appeared and shouted from a distance. Lao tried his hardest to escape from the creature that kept chasing him. At one point, the creature managed to climb onto the car and attacked Lao through the windshield, forcing him to stop his vehicle. Despite his severe injuries from the previous attack, Lao saw his daughter running toward him. Smiling, he then pressed the gas pedal all the way down, causing his vehicle to speed rapidly toward the creature. Jun, who was at the scene, was attacked by Momo, who felt that Jun was the cause of his father's death because of his earlier outburst and incoherent shouting. From there, they all moved together, bringing a car with them. During the journey, Mamang handed over a recording belonging to the father, which had been intentionally entrusted to Mamang the night before. The recording contained a video showing how the father expressed his love for Momo. It was a feeling that Momo only realized after he had lost both of his parents. Just when they thought everything was finally okay, suddenly their vehicle stopped in the middle of the road. When they found out that the bridge they were about to cross had already been destroyed by Jun's car that had fallen earlier. Realizing that they were trapped and couldn't get out by land, Mamang then led everyone to take an alternative route using a cable car. Once they arrived there, Mamang and Jun, who were at the front, were shocked by the appearance of the same creature, which turned out to still be alive. Quickly, Mamang then asked Jun to climb up the support pole, while he would jump onto the cable car going in the opposite direction. Chen Kan managed to follow Jun, but not Momo, who was so scared that she couldn't reach the support pole, nor could she jump toward Mamang, who was on the other side. Momo's fate was now hanging by a thread, as the cable car she was in slowly started approaching the creature that was already waiting for her at the next support pole. But fortunately, Mamang managed to sabotage the cable car's turning wheel, causing the car to stop. Realizing this, the monster didn't just stand by and do nothing. The creature then started jumping onto one of the cable cars and managed to reach the car where Momo was. Mamang, Jun, and Chen Chen then came down from the tower and started searching for Momo in the forest. Since they couldn't find anything, Mamang then asked Jun and Chen Chen to stay there and build a campfire to attract the attention of the rescue team, while he decided to look for Momo on his own. However, it turned out that Jun refused the request and instead asked that they stop searching because he believed that Momo couldn't possibly have survived after falling from such a height. Realizing that his request was being ignored, Jun, who from the start just wanted to get out of there quickly, suddenly snatched the rifle from Chen Chen's hands and forced Mamang to hand over his flashlight before leaving the two of them behind. After parting ways, Mamang and Chen Chen found bloodstains along the road leading to the river stream. Feeling that they were getting close to where Momo was, Mamang then smeared himself with mud, which he did on purpose to make it easier for them to move around at night. On the other hand, Momo, who had just woken up near the river, was startled by the presence of a monster standing before her. From there, Momo slowly tried to avoid it, but she was shocked when she saw a baby monster approaching her. Mamang, who had already arrived at the scene, managed to outsmart the mother monster by using the ringtone from his cell phone, allowing him to save Momo by slapping the monster's child. After seeing what the little monster looked like, Mamang then decided to take it and leave just before the mother arrived at the scene. The mother monster, who had just arrived, apparently couldn't find her child anywhere. In the midst of her confusion, the creature accidentally spotted a beam of light in the middle of the forest, which turned out to be coming from the flashlight Jun was using. Meanwhile, Mamang and the others are now in the storage area where they have started gathering all the available fuel. However, not long after they began, Momo, who happened to be keeping watch outside, was startled by the appearance of the monster's mother, which shocked her so much that she fell and then fainted. Realizing that the creature was already there, Mamang slowly handed the lighter to Sin, who then took the baby monster from the cage and used it as a shield. Taking advantage of the moment, Sin then started the fire, followed by Momo, who had now regained consciousness. Unfortunately, Sin couldn't save herself when the flames began to spread and caused a huge explosion. The explosion only managed to injure the little monster, while its mother was completely unaffected. The terrifying creature then emerged from the flames and tried to attack Momo. Because of that, the wounded Mamang decided to face it one-on-one. Using a piece of wood, Mamang slowly confronted it until finally... After defeating it, the little creature suddenly got back up and tried to approach its mother. Seeing this, Momo didn't waste the opportunity. She picked up a stone and killed the creature in front of her. A year has passed since that incident, and now Momo is celebrating her 16th birthday together with Mamang, who has now become her adoptive father. But just as Momo was about to blow out the candles, they were startled by the sight of another meteor falling to Earth. And that was the story of the film Monster Mayhem, which was produced in 2017. Hopefully you were entertained by our story for today. With that, I'll take my leave and thank you to everyone who watched. And see you in the next video.